It was harsh at the burn last year, and I kept feeling a male spirit behind me. I could tell that they were wearing a hat. I could tell they were smoking a cigarette. For a second, I thought, is that my dad? But it wasn't the kind of hat my dad would wear. And they seemed a little bit taller than my dad even. And I didn't feel like the kinship that I should have felt if it was my father. Well, I've been watching this show called The Man Will Burn, and I finally figured out who the spirit was that was following me around to the temple last year when I was having such a shit burn year. There's a show on HBO right now called The Man Will Burn, and it is a documentary on Burning Man, on the organization, on the guy who started it, on the whole 9 yards, you know, from its inception to where it is today. And it's kind of an interesting show. So far I've only seen 2 episodes, but 2 episodes was all I needed to realize who the hell that spirit following me was. As I'm walking through the desert, and if you want to see what a horrible year I had, go check out my YouTube channel, The Fairy Shayna. It's called, I think I called it Burning Man, the Year of Pain and Loneliness or something. And like, I'm not even joking. Last year was brutal as fuck for me. So I'm walking through the desert towards the temple, and the temple last year was a brutal style temple to me. And people are not going to like this. I'm going to catch hate, but whatever. To me, it looked like black plywood in an octagon shape, kind of made to look like a, I don't know, some sort of a UFO that maybe a Klingon might come out of or something. And it was just brutal. You know, it wasn't brutal. It was, I mean, it was just so brutal. The first year, the temple was elegant, gorgeous, and intricate, and it just gave temple. This last year, it didn't give temple as much as I liked, because my first year's was so opulent. Last year, the burn tried to kill me 3 ways from Sunday. That's how I ended up with this Keep Burning Man Potentially Fatal button, because damn, you know, my ass made it out, but like, I low-key made it out just by the skin of my teeth. It's of my humble opinion that the more brutal the temple, the more brutal the burn. So, I mean, so that was accurate for me. So, walking through the desert, I'd already been almost murdered by the desert. My stomach was completely black. I had definite internal bleeding. I had a messed up ankle, a messed up wrist, a messed up knee. And I was making my pilgrimage to the temple because, damn it, I needed something, right? And as I'm walking, I feel a man behind me, just a step or two behind me. And no, it didn't feel like Jesus. No, this was not the Spirit of the Lord. I know what that feels like. This was not that. This was somebody who had lived and walked and been alive and breathed as a normal, mortal human who loved the burn more than anything, who wanted to just make sure I was okay. If I live or die, it's fine. But they just wanted to make sure I was all right, that I was kind of like getting what I needed from it. By the time I actually made it to the temple, my legs were completely jelly. I felt absolutely useless. And I sat there for like 2 hours as the entire temple is singing the words, you are loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. Remember, you are loved. Over and over and over. Over and over and over, over and over and over for hours. For hours. And I sat there until my legs worked again, and then I got up and got the hell out of there. Left the temple, decided, okay, I need to go get me some goldfish and like a cup of fruit or something in my life. Then I take a long, well-needed nap in the heat, and then that evening I decide to go out again. Now, I can't ride my bike at this point. The bike is effed. And even if the bike wasn't effed, my leg, my knee, my hand, there's no way I could like grab on. It had a throttle. That's how I got in this place in the first place. So there was just no way I could do it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to hoof it. So I'm going to walk around, and I'm walking around through the desert, and I'm realizing the only thing that makes me feel good even a little bit was fire. And I end up standing before this giant iron sculpture of sorts. It was like an iron sheet that was completely rusted in a semicircle arch. And in the middle of it, there was a man standing there with a wide-brimmed hat and a cigarette. Like, the outside cutout, that's what it was of, is of a man with a wide-brimmed hat and a cigarette. And I stood there and I looked at it for probably too long, you know, probably what felt like 20 minutes. Who knows how long I was out there, watching the fire behind it, just looking at this cutout of this man. Well, I had no idea who that was, but I thought, it just has this like really familiar feeling to it. This almost like comforting, like I feel like this person, I don't know, there's just something about this person. I couldn't really put my finger on it. Fast forward to this year, we're watching The Man Will Burn, and the guy who started the whole damn thing was called Larry. And Larry would walk around in a wide brim hat with a fucking cigarette in his mouth 24/7. He's the one who started the whole damn thing. It started on the beach with a 10-foot man, and it kept growing and growing and growing. So we literally have this man to thank for Burning Man, and I'm out there trying to connect to whatever. And I really feel like the spirit of Larry followed me around Burning Man my second year because I was having such a fucking shit burn. It kept trying to fucking kill me. And I think he just wanted to let me know that's part of it. Like, that's, you know, that's part of it. We're out here because life and death is a thin thread no matter where we are. And that you could either die tomorrow sitting behind a desk, or you could die tomorrow on a bike, or doing some acrobatics, or doing some crazy schmugs, or doing whatever you want to do. But life is on a thread no matter who you are, no matter where you are. And so to enjoy every single moment as it's given to you, to not hold anything back, to not hold any grudges, just to fucking move forward on to the next with love and optimism and excitement and adventure in your heart and soul. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm excited to go back. Man burns in like a month, and I will be there for that. Love you guys. Bye.